Welcome to our midweek message. This is Pastor Reed, coming to you from First Baptist Church of Olathe. I'm so glad that you're taking the opportunity to listen and to watch. I hope that you're encouraged by what you hear. We are called to be disciples. We're called to be disciples every day. It's crazy to think that Jesus calls us to walk with him in the everyday stuff of life, regardless of what we're going through. Whether we're celebrating and joyous, or whether we are going through tragedy, or even if we're running into random people that seem to want to have a dispute with us. While I was on vacation, we were headed to the coast. My mom was driving her vehicle, I was passenger, and the kids were in back. On the way out of town, we decided we wanted to stop and grab some coffee, and so we pulled into the coffee shop. And as we were pulling into the coffee shop, this car comes out of nowhere, drives over the median that separates the two parking spaces, two parking lots, and cuts right in front of us, leaving us partially in the roadway. And it was kind of like, whoa, this individual does not really know what they're doing. And so we found that the parking spaces were full, and so we drove to the back of the building, found an empty spot to turn around in so we could park a little bit closer to the door. And as we are coming back out, that same car decides to back into a space where a forklift is operating. And they just about took out the forklift. And so we're like, whoa, these people, we kind of need to be careful, watch out. And so they pulled into a spot. We pulled into the spot. We thought that they were done. And all of a sudden, they start backing towards us. And it's just like, probably should honk, given what we've already seen. And so my mom honks. It wasn't a honk, 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 honk. It wasn't aggressive by any means. It was simply saying, hey, we're here. Please don't back into us. And they finished parking, and we finished parking, and they hopped out of the car, and they were all kinds of hot, all kinds of angry, coming at us, yelling at us, why did we honk, and we could have done this, and we could have done that, and they were real angry. And so I was trying to reason with them. Well, first of all, this is what we saw, and this is what's going on, and honestly, reason was not what was going to help the situation. And so I turned around and I started walking back towards the young man who was standing in the passenger car door, raising his arms, like, what? And I just thought to myself, what am I going to do? Like, the thought ran through my mind, am I going to get in a fight with this guy? Is this guy going to try to fight me? What's going to happen here? And as I'm walking back to him, I'm thinking, I just get this sense, be a peacemaker, be a peacemaker, be a peacemaker. And these are the words that Jesus spoke to the disciples. You have heard that it was said, an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, but I tell you, do not resist an evil person. If anyone slaps you on the right cheek, turn the other cheek also. And if anyone wants to see you take your shirt, hand over your coat as well. What Jesus is saying here is people are going to be angry at you. People are going to try to demean you through violence, through court proceedings. And what he says to them is break the cycle of violence, break the cycle of abuse, break the cycle of anger. And so I got to the young man who was still, what, coming at me. And I reached out my arm and I put it around his shoulder and I said, let's go enjoy some coffee. And right then, that was all it took. Now, I'm not saying this like, look at Reed, he's so great. What I'm saying this is that Jesus' way of life, the way that Jesus teaches us to live, the way that Jesus wants us to walk with him every day, really does transform every situation. And so as you seek to follow after Jesus, seek to follow after him in everything you encounter. What he teaches, do. Be a peacemaker. Be someone who shares love over hate, who shares hope over fear. Be a disciple every day. Walk with Jesus everywhere you go. Be blessed.